Shoot the Hostage will be back very soon for season 3 with me, Dan.
And me, Sarah. This time around, we're covering movies about aliens, and as always, we've carefully chosen 8 films that we think represent that theme.
If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing via your podcast platform of choice or leaving us a 5-star rating or review. It's the best way to help us reach a wider audience.
We'd love it if you join the chat over on social media too. You can find us on Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok at @STH_pod.
We're back on October the 2nd, so here's a little of what you can expect. Get your tinfoil hats at the ready and set your phasers to pun. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, 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 ba-ba-ba-ba-bum.
I mean, I'm quite grateful that you're subjecting other people to what I've had to deal with for the better part of a week now. Dan! Dan! Do you want me to leave?
Oh no, I'll save that for the third act of the podcast.
Please don't. Never do it again.
What movie are we talking about today?
Predator.
Yeah, we're talking about Predator. It's our first episode of season 3.
Yes, and that's how you chose to open it.
Do you think anyone's listening still?
I'd be surprised.
Season 3, we're doing aliens this season, as we said up top in the intro. But as it's our first episode, I just thought I would highlight that we're doing a giant sausage fest for our first episode of season 3, after we did a giant sausage fest for our last episode of season 2.
I was thinking about this. How did this get past me? I've got no one to blame but myself.
Well, you create the schedules as much as I do.
I know.
We have equal rights, I guess.
I do not have equal rights. Not in the world.
No.
But that's a different conversation.
In this house, you almost have equal rights.
Yeah, that's true. Almost. I have Pop-Tart privileges.
So 1987, this one came out.
It's a good year.
Some of the other movies that were released in 1987, these are just the good ones.
Hit me with them.
Lost Boys.
Ooh.
Banger. Robot Cop.
That's a good year for you.
Good year for
Definitely.
me. The old JC, Prince of Darkness, had a movie out in 87.
Yeah, of course.
Near Dark, anyone?
Hell yeah. It was a good year for vampires.
Good year for vampires. It was also a good year for Cenobites because Hellraiser came out in 1987. Yep. It was a brilliant year for Martin Short because Inner Space came out. Sam Raimi had a movie out. Do you know which one it was?
No, I've never heard of it.
Evil Dead 2.
No. What's that?
No.
That indicates there was an Evil Dead 1. I've never heard of these films. Well, I think the novel was set during the Cold War era, which makes a lot of sense in that regard. Yeah. Everybody was so fearful about what their quote-unquote opponents were doing if they had better weapons and bigger bombs, and so we had to one-up them, and there was just this air of paranoia throughout.
Oh, what if they had a hash brown spaceship?
Yeah.
Was it a train, spaceship?
It looked like a train.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Their house. It wasn't clear, was it?
No.
They just hung around and sort of pointed at it and go, oh, look, hash brown.
Just this triangular thing covered in cornflakes. I don't know.
It was a weird design, but I didn't hate it. I thought it was quite good.
Like, we just don't know, do we? So in terms of speculation, why not have it look like a hash brown?
Yeah.
It could be anything.
They don't have hash browns on Athena.
Oh, that makes me sad for them. I'd have come to Earth for the hash browns, not the water.
Maybe that's another reason he stayed for so long. I forgot about his family because he found hash browns.
Hash browns, yeah, that makes sense. I would abandon everyone I loved for hash browns.
He wanted to stay on Earth until McDonald's started serving breakfast all day.
Oh, what a dream.
Yeah. Where were we?
Rip Torn.
Rip Torn, right, okay. The other person in this is Jeremy Renner.
Oh, the way you said that.
Jeremy Renner plays Ian.
He does.
And we're meant to buy him as a theoretical physicist because he wears tiny spectacles. Just tiny little glasses hanging off of his nose. He puts them on and you go, scientist.
Yeah.
He's a weird one, Renner, because I love The Hurt Locker. I think it's an incredible movie. And
he's brilliant.
Never better, in my opinion. That was the peak Renner. 28 Weeks Later, which I think is a very solid sequel to that classic zombie movie. Obviously Hawkeye, all of the Hawkeyes, he's just doing his Hawkeye thing, being Hawkeye at people and doing a quip. Mission Impossible 4 and 5.
Oh yeah.
He was all right. He's
quite forgettable in those, wasn't he?
He was kind of fun. He had some okay lines, but yeah, a little forgettable. Yeah. And he didn't come back because he probably was sulking that Tom Cruise wanted to carry on making Mission Impossible movies until he was 112.
I do believe he'll live that long.
Well, I heard that he signed a 1 billion-year contract for that role. So,
Has he?
Yeah.